man, you can't swing a dead cat around anymore and not hit something that plays Evercade games. So we're here to talk about another one of those that Mike and I have come across that is the Super Pocket as opposed to the average pocket by Hyper Megatech, which is awesome. Awesome company name. Kudos, Hyper Megatech. Well named.
Which is Evercade.
It is Evercade. They just
Yeah,
it's a
this is a official Evercade pocket
so who's Hyper
feature.
Megatech? Is
Hyper
it
Mega Tech is the Hyper Mega Tech Super Pocket, whatever it is. It's their
XX?
budget yeah, XX35 QRS. It was released a year ago, 2 years ago, the first one. It's their budget handheld version.
Yeah, and and it's I mean, so your budget's around, I mean, for the one that's out there right now, it's $55. So it's, I mean, that's not bad. You can tell that's not a titanium alloy case that it's in. It is a more budget, but it's your kind of Game Boy,
Yeah.
slightly larger screen Game Boy format. Um, Plays Evercade cartridges. They talk a lot about, it seems like the kind of budget side of it, since goes back to some of the other folks that are out there on it. Look at all these, you hear all these licensed games you get. They really hit that hard. They've got, they've had, I think, an Atari one out there. This one here, there's a new Atari one coming out. Taito, Capcom, and Technos, I believe, which is, I'm not as familiar with their body of work, but four different options where you get 17 to 20 installed, no cartridge required, installed games on it, and then the ability to play Evercade cartridges, like the Alpha, which is, I'm running into this problem where there are all these things out there that I've decided I kind of want to get, and now I got to figure out the order of it. But so have you ever looked at the Super Pocket? Or are you a man of meager means and only have an average pocket? I don't know.
So I was like a lot of people, I think, the first two that were released were the Capcom, the Taito. They've been out at least a year now. I think it's two. They've been out for a little while though, and I think I was confused like everybody else. What is this thing that plays Evercade cartridges? But it's from the same company. It's Blaze. They're the same company that makes all the Evercade stuff. They make the Super Mega Hyper Tech Pocket Godzilla, whatever it is, as well, which is why it still uses Evercade cartridges. So I thought it was a cool idea. I didn't really know how it did because I don't see like there's tons and tons of people online in kind of the Evercade community and all kinds of videos with people who have the original Evercade like I do, people who have the XP and the Versus, people who are, pre-ordering as I have the Alpha. So all of that stuff coming out. So I haven't seen nearly as much about the Hyper Mega Pocket Tech Police Force thing. But it's cool, and I think it's very smart of Evercade to be able to hit different price points as well. Like this is something you could, get somebody on an impulse buy for at that $50-$60 price point as opposed to $250 for an alpha or something along those lines. And again, I actually think that's a really good price point for the alpha, especially when you compare it to similarly or slightly more higher priced arcade one up bar tops that have less games and you can't add games without modding that system.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to do it. And I'm not sure on their price point and profit and large profit margin on the hardware versus the cartridges. I gotta imagine the margins on the cartridges is kind of much more favorable than the bigger stuff. So creating lots and lots of platforms that can play the cartridges is certainly in your interest, and this is a highly approachable price point. So at $55, it does. I mean, it is, and maybe you can help help me remember the. We've talked about another definite budget. You buy it at Walgreens. Um, uh, Kind of gaming systems. I actually have one. Stole it from
My arcade.
my arcade. Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a my arcade that I, indirectly stole from a child, but that's a story for another day. But
They're still healing both
yep,
physically and emotionally.
yep, that's all right. But it was a stupid child, Mike. You know that. It's you throw that
Aren't
out
they
for
all, Kelly?
yeah,
Aren't they
yeah,
all?
that's the Mike we know. So that is clearly there was not a lot of investment made in the my arcade hardware infrastructure to say this has a little bit of a feel of that, but it looks better than that. So but again, it's not super high end either on that. So it's definitely, you get what you pay for. If you're buying a $55 handheld, it's, gonna not necessarily have the highly most responsive buttons. And that's the only concern I have. It's got that nice set of triggers across the back, all four. Um, they appear to be of that slightly softer material than the rest of the case, which is the same, I think, for the buttons as well. And I just wonder how that's going to hold up over time, because they're the same color as the buttons on the front, or you can kind of see some things to go. I don't know if that's going to be super sturdy, but price is good. Opening the door to lots of Evercade cartridges would be a fantastic idea. I think it is pretty fair to kind of go if you're looking to do that, comparing it to an alpha. But then again, pretty different form factors. You're not putting an alpha in your pocket. So even if you have a super pocket, you're not putting the alpha in your pocket. So I guess it depends a little bit on where you plan to play them. But this looks pretty cool. So Mike's got his pre-order in, and that means I think around October 2024 is when I think the alpha ships.
November for the alpha.
November. Okay. We had something else that was in October.
So
I
I
can't
have to
remember.
remember to have the money in my account in November because it's easy to pre-order now because nothing
That's
happens.
right. It's just I pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one you'll have actually it doesn't look like the pre-orders for the Super Pocket start until July 31st.
Yeah,
But
for the two new models.
for
Yeah.
the
Now
two, yeah.
the Capcom and the Taito are available now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Those
Uh,
have been out for a while.
yeah, but then those will are the pre-order is for October of 2024. So gives you a little bit of an idea there. It's on Amazon. We'll include a link. You can go check it out. In terms of we'll include a link to the Amazon for the existing stuff you can buy right now, and we'll include a link to the site that is advertising the new stuff. So pretty cool. Uh, I'm I'm kind of assuming, so I have to go back and look at them kind of really closely because what's on Amazon right now is not advertised as a super pocket. It's just a pocket. so so I have to go through and see the specs on it. But what we've tried to start doing on these, when we talk about some of this new stuff that's out there, potentially new stuff out there, is say whether we're going to skip it, whether we're going to list it. By listing it means put it on a list. Kind of what I'm interested, don't want to forget about it, or buy it. So are you a skip it, list it, or buy it on the Super Pocket from Hyper Megatech?
I'm a skip it, but not because I don't think it's a good product. It's because I'm already in that Evercade ecosystem. So this isn't something that I'm looking for. I already have the original Evercade and I'm gonna have an alpha. So this really isn't something I'm looking for because I already have a handheld option and an option that'll be, tethered to the game room. So it's more, this is a great option for people who are on a budget or people who are just interested in trying out kind of that Evercade ecosystem and getting into the whole cartridge thing with them. This is a low risk um, entry point for you, as opposed to, putting out more money for like $250 for the alpha. Unless you pre-order, then it's 230. So things like that. So this is a lower risk and I think well worth it because the cartridges are excellent. I assume, and from the reviews that I saw of the original two, quality build wise, it is a step down, of course, from the regular Evercade. But again, you're getting it for $55. So it still seems like it's better quality than a lot of the other stuff that's in that price point that's out there now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a skip it too because while I'm not part of the Evercade Club yet, and I aspire to be, this wouldn't be my entry to it. Again, for a little bit of the same reasons is that one, the alpha continues to look pretty interesting to me. I think that would be a pretty interesting way to go. So, um, the verses is still a kind of an interesting delivery, but uh, how many consoles do you want to kind of have stacked up? So I'm trying to work through that, but this could be a pretty good way to go. So I'm a skip it, but it does, like I said, if you're either a super big Evercade fan, just one other form factor that's very portable. Even though I've got some other good portable options, it's certainly cost effective. Good way to enter to see what the cartridges are like. But I'm gonna skip it for now, and would love to hear what you folks are thinking regarding this. And best way to know the next thing we're going to talk about is, of course, to subscribe to the Bog Panda YouTube channel. And you do that, hit that bell so you'll get notified for our shows, which include the world's shortest podcast. It's a cowboy themed podcast where Mike and I just talk in Western lingo the whole time. Actually, it's not. It's a podcast and it's called Hard No, and it's the world's shortest podcast. So check that out. Delivered daily. So check it out, and um, lots of them out there. Many hard nose out there. The number is very staggering. The number of hard nose we have out there, and then also check out our merchandise. We've got some T-shirts for you to check out, and some interesting things. Mike's got ideas for shirts that aren't going to happen. So you'll not see
Yeah.
those there, but you'll see the ones he's been able to get through the strict quality control we have here at Bog Panda. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it, sir.
Cool. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Kids are terrible and you're all maniacs.
Bog Panda.